Good afternoon to all. It's indeed a pleasure to be here talking to people who are the movers and changers, or who will be the movers and changers of society at the grassroots level. Today morning, I was watching a television program which was discussing child marriage. I was just dumbstruck by the type of animated discussion which was happening there. In this day and age, 2023, we're still talking about ills in society which existed more than 200 years ago. Has India progressed? Is it progressing? Is it developing? What exactly is happening? About a year ago, when I was posted as Commissioner Women and Child Development, the chief of UNICEF came for a discussion with me, and we began a conversation with child marriage. And who were the center focus of this discussion? Little girls, adolescents, 14, 15, 16, who probably were not even aware of what was going on in their lives. Their parents were the most eager to get rid of them. Should I use the right word or the wrong word? And they were all eager that this burden should not be there in their lives. Probably they don't think of that way about their sons, do they? They don't push them into marriage. They don't push them out of their house. So today's discussion, ESG, is written here. So I would wonder when my staff would come and tell me, आज हमने 15 लोगों को पकड़ा है, बच्चों को हमने marriage रोका है, whether I should appreciate them. I was always very confused. Whether I should reprimand the people who come to see me, who were caught, हमको छोड़ दो मैडम, गलती हो गई है. What should be the reaction? Social is the word in ESC. What is social? Who is society? Who are the part of society? You, me? Do we really think about all such little things which are happening around us? We're talking about so many things, education, literacy, livelihoods. But really, at the grassroots levels, the people who are there, once upon a time, our families used to be that. We have been blessed. We are fortunate to be here talking, getting the education, getting the support, that we can stand here and talk. But what about those people who are back there? Districts like Parbhani, Hingoli, Dhule, Nandurbar, there may be many more. You mustn't have heard of them all also. These are the mind-boggling numbers which we really need to think of, to talk of, to keep in mind when we're talking about CSR, when we're talking about funding, we're talking about reaching out to people. It is not just educating someone, giving them a degree, but at the base level, which is society, which is rural or urban or any place you say, semi-urban. These problems are there in every part of society, and I really need not emphasize on the evils of early marriage or lesser illiteracy for women, because they're all connected ultimately, whether it is early pregnancy, mortality rate, complications of pregnancy. Who are bearing the brunt of this society? It is the women. I need not give you percentages of literacy, education. You are all, scholars here. And of course, we have Google, Baba. We just have to search and we'll know the diversity and what is the percentage of women who are not educated, who don't go to college, who are dropouts, whose parents are treating them in this way or the other, who are not getting food to eat. We just had a discussion on healthcare. We had 5 doctors perhaps who were discussing, the lack of healthcare. Who is at the receiving end of not getting good health care? It is women who are always at the receiving end of not getting that good health care or nutrition. Roti nahi khana or bachcho ko dena, we are all aware of that. You and me would also be doing that probably as mothers. Only thing is that we have sufficient in our house to give extra to our child and probably eat more, which is not required for us, over nutrition perhaps in our lives. But those women who sacrifice their food for the children, they are perhaps, they have no choice. They have no choice. They have to sacrifice that food. When we talk about security, the numbers of rapes, molestation, which is happening in any society. Who is at the base of this? Who is blaming whom? What did you wear? Where did you go? Whether what you wear could be a part of discussion, but where did you go? Why did you go? The brunt is always on the woman. This has to be eliminated. It is in our minds, it is a part of our being. And unless we remove that from our minds, this is not really going to work. Whether it is social crime which is happening, whether it is the security of women, lakhs of rupees, crores of rupees are being spent on better technology, better access for women for security. But is there a need? There are places where people say, हमारे गांव में ताला नहीं लगता है. Whether one must have heard of Shani Shanganapur. Recently, I went to a village near Harsil, near Badrinath. तो कहते हमारे घर में ताला लगता नहीं है. पर ताला नहीं लगाने की बात है या अपने मन का जो ताला है वो खोलने की बात है. So that is something I feel that we really need to think of. Finances, jobs is something. Who was at the receiving end of retrenchment? Retrenchment was of women most, I think, after COVID. Why was the woman made to make a sacrifice for her job? Because the prestige of a man was at stake. So if a woman is earning more and if she could have probably supported her husband, but still her job was at stake. People never thought about retrenching her. People never thought about, giving her that confidence that your work is very important. Your contribution to society is very important. So these are very touchy issues when you look at, job market also. Corporates are here, and I would like you all to touch your heart and soul and answer. How many of you don't question the fact when a woman comes to for your job, ये तो शादी करेगी, ये pregnant होगी, इसको बच्चे होने वाले हैं, ये maternity leave पे जाएगी, ये काम कब करेगी? तो बच्चा पैदा करना, बच्चा संभालना, उन्हें बड़ा करना, क्या ये मेरा कर्तव्य है? सिर्फ मेरा महिला के तौर पर, या ये समाज का कर्तव्य है? So when is a corporate really going to think? Hushed voices people talk of. Any corporate you talk, पीछे 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 बोलते रहेंगे कि मैम वो है, बताते नहीं है कोई भी. तो ये चीज़ें हैं कि आज जब मैं बात कर रही हूँ, मैं talking to you about these things. Really, I hope Bhomik you are here, and I hope that these are the pain points of a woman, of a bureaucrat who probably feels that somewhere, someday, there will be a change in society in the real sense, and people will really benefit from what it is to be, whether it is contraception, whether it's menstrual hygiene. I don't know whether a man will ever understand the trouble of, getting a period in your life. What are the complications, physical, mental, emotional, not having a toilet to go to change, the embarrassment a woman can go through. It is a turmoil in one's life. But all these are probably not discussed in society. We only say, yatra naryastu pujayante ramante tatra devata, manusmriti लिखा हुआ है, मनु के बारे में लोग क्या क्या बोलते भी रहते हैं. Where woman is honored, respected, gods rejoice there. We don't want to be superwomen. We don't want to be devis. We don't want to be demigods, semi-gods. We are human like you and me, flesh and blood. Treat us like you would treat yourself. Make space for us in society where we can stand respectfully and say, yes, I'm a human being. I may be a woman, but I'm a human being in a human world, not in a man's world. Thank you.